Welcome to Sapienza 47. We have two targets for you. Congressman Anthony L. Troutt, a veteran of the invasion of Grenada, and Richard J. Magee. Though at first glance these two might not seem connected, they have a long-standing collaboration manipulating Trout's political opposition. Troutt sends Magee after his weak but potentially dangerous adversaries and lets Magee manipulate and ultimately break them. Troutt and Magee are in Sapienza on an arcane meet and greet with European moneymen and power brokers ahead of a possible presidential bid in 2024. We know that Troutt is staying at the Via Caruso in the town square, but Magee's business is much more clandestine, and we don't have a location for where he will be. All we know is that he is to meet a Keith Keeble, a rich young man and possibly their next victim. Time to show them the consequences of political manipulation. Good luck, 47.
Hello and welcome to another video with me, Christian Rauchenwald. Now in this video we are going to take care of another elusive target called the Deceivers Year 4 that takes place in Sapienza. I haven't played that mission before, so this is literally my first attempt to beat or kill those two targets, and therefore I have no clue about their exact locations, their patterns, or how to best kill them. In order to pull this off, I decided to go with the flash phone or explosive phone, a lethal syringe, and on top of that the Sieker one, which is a gun that allows you to shoot Emetic poison. We're spawning on the main square without any disguise, and yeah, let's see how it goes.
Good afternoon, 47. Troutt and Magee have arrived in Sapienza. We know Troutt is at the Via Caruso, but you'll have to find out where Magee will be making contact with Mr. Keeble. Security is unusually high, especially with Caruso in residence. Do be careful, 47.
Thanks to Diana's briefing and the intro, we know that one of our targets is in Villa Caruso and the other target is actually behind us and is going to have a meeting in the building that's pretty much in front of us right now. Unfortunately, we cannot enter that building because of the two guards that are guarding the door here, so we cannot enter from here, and we have to find another way in through the building on the left and then the bridge or the connection that's above us right now. Now we could equip our Sieker here, drop the suitcase, climb up the drain pipe and go through the window, and that's actually the way I will do it in a couple of seconds or in a minute or so. But first I somehow decided to check for a different entry, and I noticed there's a camera blocking this entry. So I checked, like, is there an NPC that would see me, from which angle I can best shoot the camera, and eventually go to shoot the camera, just to then notice that the door is locked and that I spawned or started the mission without a lockpick equipped. Now, to be fair, it turns out we don't need the lockpick, but at this point I felt like a little bit dumb to not have the lockpick with me, because it's a very, very usual item to have, or not usual, but useful item to have. Either way, since I cannot enter here, I then decided to basically go back and walk up or climb up the drain pipe. Once upstairs, I noticed that we have basically two NPCs in the room in front of us. So the first task here would be to get a disguise, and we do that by overflowing the sink, opening the door, and with that luring the bodyguard or one of the NPCs into the bathroom. We climb out so we don't get seen, and once he is shutting down the faucet of the sink here, we will take him out and take his disguise. And there's unfortunately no closet or box or anything where we can stash his body in the bathroom, so we'll also then have to proceed to take care of the second NPC in the room, because there is a stash for bodies, so that we can then also stash both bodies. Based on my run, so if you follow along in the same time frame, you can do it the same way I did. If you're a little slower, you'll have to wait, because at some point there will actually be 3 NPCs, including our target, that briefly walk into this room. So if you end up dragging a body while they walk into the room, you're obviously going to have a shitload of trouble. However, for me that thankfully worked out fine. So I distracted her here with the coin and then subdued her. I didn't have anything to throw to knock her out straight away, and then just drop her body into the crate here and also get the body from the bathroom and hide it in the crate, which becomes relevant later when we actually use the Sieker to poison our target. So he goes to this bathroom to puke, where we can then drown him. Yeah, but that's it for that part. So enjoy the show, and I'll jump back in once we go after target number 2. Yeah, as mentioned, the 3 NPCs, including our target, entered this room. I was quite surprised, and I felt quite lucky that it happened after I took care of both NPCs. One of them is going to sit down and stay, and the other 2 are then going to walk back into the other office. So it might be tricky if you haven't been able to take out the 2 NPCs here already. Although, actually, if you have the disguise and you didn't clean this room, no, it still wouldn't work properly, because you need to somewhere hide the body from the bathroom, and that only works if you also take out the second NPC. Either way, I decide now to follow them into the office and distract them by throwing a coin to make both look away, so I can then shoot our target with the Sieker to make him go to the bathroom where we can take care of him.
Okay. Find out what that was.
Sure thing.
I was worried here for a second because I clearly aimed at him properly and hit him, but somehow he still walked over to check the coin, and I was really worried that I missed the shot. You also noticed briefly there's another NPC on the left that luckily didn't spot me shooting, so I didn't see her before. That's something you might have to consider as well if you give this elusive target a try. If everything works out like it does for me here, however, then it's easy going, because you can just follow your target, as said, into the bathroom, and then once he is puking, stab him, garrote him, drown him, subdue him and break his neck, whichever you prefer, and just leave his body there and make your way out the window and down the drain pipe again, or through the tower and down the stairs, although there should be a camera in the staircase or stairwell, so
One more to go.
you might want to probably take the window route. With that, we make our way towards Villa Caruso for target number 2. And yeah, like, you have multiple ways to enter, as you should know from previous Sapienza runs. However, I think the easiest way in this case, or the way I went for, mostly because in the intro animation we see our target walking in front of Villa Caruso away from his limousine, so I assumed that that will be part of his routine, and therefore I decided to enter the premises through the left tower. Now, with our current disguise, I think we are allowed to walk past the guards at the main entrance as well. I just didn't want to risk it. And if we would have needed to get frisked, of course, it would be a problem, so I just straight away went this route. But I think it's also safe in the current disguise to just walk past the main guards. Now here again, I'm checking if there's anything useful and how our target looks like. And then I end up wandering around quite a bit because I cannot see our target anywhere, because at the moment he's probably somewhere in the building where we just cannot find him, and it takes me some time to actually locate him, so I may actually fast forward to the part where we finally make contact to save you the time of aimlessly, or not aimlessly, but like randomly running around.
There's a dead rat under my bunk.
So after a minute or so of searching, I actually located him in front of the house, and he and his 2 bodyguards are just on the way into Villa Caruso. Turns out they're pretty much walking in a circle from what I can tell, and I start by following the target around to see if or where I can possibly shoot him with the Sieker to get him away from his bodyguards, and with that be able to take him out just like we did our first target. Yeah, like, so it's following around him a little bit, and then basically also screw up at some point, partially by taking out a camera, but you will see that in a minute or so. And then after everybody panics and everybody calms down again, we actually get our shot at our target and get to drown him. So yeah, let's just wait for that to happen, and then I'll jump back in again.
Hey, don't wave that around.
Yeah, so out here I figure I might be able to take my shot, so this is the point where I want to take care of that camera so we maintain our silent assassin rating without having to hunt down the surveillance system. However, that proved to be a mistake because, as you can see, it triggered the target lockdown and it put me in a tight spot to basically hide here for now. Because I was worried that some of those guards might suddenly become enforcers or recognize me or whatever. But turns out that I was worried for nothing. Obviously I panicked and was wondering where they are going to run for their shutdown or lockdown, and tried to follow them just to figure out that they stay on the main floor of the mansion and just huddle down in the center area of it. Yeah, so there is nothing to worry about if you also happen to trigger that shutdown or lockdown, but you actually can pull it off without that mistake, of course. So by just being a little bit more patient and waiting for him to go through his routine one more time, because once he goes through his routine one more time, you could wait outside on that veranda, and when he walks outside through the door, you could shoot him with the Sieker before his guards even walk out, and therefore he would then get sick and you could then take him out. Anyway, so we see all the people panicking here in quotes and huddling down here. And now that everything's fine again, they are going to resume their routine, and we can finally eventually take our shot. I'm still a little cautious here because I don't want to waste my last shot, and with the other NPCs in the way, it just feels like not worth the risk. So we follow him again, he continues with his routine, and we finally are able to take our shot.
Blow some chunk. Step back, people.
As said, I should have done it straight away like this, so if I would have already known his route, I could have waited out here and shot him before the bodyguards walk out, and it would have saved us a lot of hassle. But again, like, that's kind of like the beauty of the elusive targets. So since you can, in quotes, only try the mission once as soon as you start completing objectives, yeah, you're bound to either spend a lot of time just casing out all the routes and places and to identify the ideal route, or you end up like I'm doing it to, in quotes, improvise, figure things out, and then kill your targets. In this case, it works out nicely. We can ground him here. We don't have to worry about stashing his body. There's a window we can escape through, and from there we can make our exit through the main
Time to find an exit.
Gate. We just have to be careful. I almost walked into the camera here, which would have meant I would have had to hunt down the camera system to maintain the silent assassin status. But the way it is, I can just walk out the main door and now make my way towards the boat exit in the harbor. It's not a harbor, but at the beach area. And with that, I have another elusive target completed with a silent assassin rating. And in this case, literally first try without any recon or reading up on the mission first. And yeah, so I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you were also able to complete this elusive target and didn't miss it. Yeah, don't forget, if you enjoyed the video, like and subscribe, and then we'll see each other in another one of my videos, or maybe during one of my Twitch streams. Yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching. See you in another video. Till then, bye-bye.